Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus A330 pilot and welcome back to another A330 reload. Today we're going to fly Delta Flight 106 from New York's JFK airport over to Frankfurt, which is about a 7-hour journey through the night. The sun is just about setting here in New York, which is hopefully going to make for some absolutely fantastic visuals on our way out. Before we start though, a very quick message from today's sponsor. If you're looking for an ATC add-on that can not just do your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things like data link, VFR, and even a cabin crew simulation, then look no further than Say Intentions AI. We'll be using them in today's video for everything concerning ATC and cabin crew, so if you like what you're about to hear, then check them out in the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get straight into this. So, we're going to start with an analysis of our flight plan, and here it is. We're departing New York and then head along the east coast all the way to Newfoundland, where we're going to head out into the track system, and then we are going to cross Ireland and the UK and Belgium into Frankfurt. The significant weather chart has a lot of stuff on here, but it's all low level, so except for a little bit of icing on a climb out of New York, I'm actually not expecting anything. Now, we do have a jet stream in flight level 380 over here with 95 knots. That one certainly includes a little cat area, as we can see on the number 2, with turbulence up to flight level 400. Now, going on to the other side of the pond, we do have a little bit more of that turbulence, but then it's going to be completely clear on our way over into Frankfurt. Now for the airport weather. Departing New York, we have northerly winds and runway 4 left is active at the moment, and Frankfurt has northeasterly winds, suggesting runway 07 with clear skies. Our alternate Düsseldorf also has wonderful weather conditions, and then finally we gotta check our ETOPS airport, where we are going to enter via St. John's, and well, they do have this little reduced visibility over here. However, that is probably not going to affect us, because by the time that we're departing, weather will have improved a little bit. Now, our other side of the pond in Shannon actually has good weather conditions, so that's nothing to complain about. Now, going into the airport weather, or rather into the flight plan, sorry for that. Departing New York at 22:48 UTC, we're going to arrive in Frankfurt 19 minutes ahead of schedule. Our weights are not critical, and for the Europeans among us, remember, this is pounds, since we are flying a US carrier. Now, flight level 390 is going to be our initial cruising level, and we might climb up to level 400 over the pond. We'll see about that. We might as well just remain at level 390, since we have to descend down there again after our crossing. Now, apart from that, Mach 0.80 is planned for the crossing, so rather slow, but then again, we will arrive early anyway. Now, going into the fuel section, we are planned to take off with 95,006 pounds of fuel on board, plus 1,000 for taxi, makes it 96,000 pounds of fuel. If we do that, we're going to arrive in Frankfurt with about an hour and 10 in the tanks, plus contingency, which I don't expect to be using today, so I'd say 96,000 pounds is just about the right quantity for today's flight. Alright, and with that in mind, let's get into our airplane and let's get started on our pre-flight procedures. We're going to start with the preliminary cockpit inspection down here, and that's going to be engine master levers off, start selector norm, weather radar is off, landing gear lever down, and the wipers are off. Battery voltage is more than 25.5 on each side, so let's go ahead and turn our power on. So here it is, the airplane is powered up, then let's go ahead and get the dome light on as well, since the sun is going to set pretty soon. And I'm also going to switch on the floodlight, put the intake lights all the way to maximum, and the pedestal floodlight as well. Now, with those out of the way, let's go ahead and do the APU fire tests, which isn't working yet since the airplane is still powering up. Fine, then let's use the time to go down into the electronic flight pack.
Runway
so, weather
awareness,
is imported,
okay.
And what do we have? 180,
Meters.
16, gust 26. So if we use 4 left, it's actually going to be a little bit of a tailwind component here. But according to the ATIS, that's what they're using at the moment. Okay, fine. So for the doors, we've got one left, and we can also open the cargo doors down here. Payload. Import from Simbrief. So 96,000 pounds, apply and load with an instant loadout. And here we go. So that is done. Then let's head over into the takeoff calculation, synchronize that, and let's see what we're actually gonna get. A takeoff weight is gonna be 411,000 pounds. So let's try that. So 411, conv 2, aircon off, calculate. 65 degrees flex. Okay, lovely. It is a little bit of a tailwind component though. Let's see, 40-degree angle, so about 8 knots tail. Up to 14 in the gusts, 15 is the maximum, so it's legal, but it's not nice. But okay, that's gonna do the job for us. So that's our EFB done, then let's try that APU fire test once again. I was a little bit too fast earlier. That sounds good. Alright, ADIOS 1, 2 and 3 are coming online. Then let's head down. EFB setup is already done. Let's go down into the FM1. A330 200, CF6 engine, enough database up to date. Scratchpad messages all noted and cleared. And let's do the init request down here. Now, aircraft technical acceptance, recall for 3 seconds. And that is wonderful, nothing in here. Nothing in the logbook, and the aircraft is an A330 200 with the CF6 engine. No OEBs for this one, and with that we are accepted for service. So, the oxygen pressure is good, hydraulic quantities are good, engine oil quantity, let's go ahead and have a look. Is good as well. Lovely. So that's very good already. With that we are pretty much accepted for service. So let's ensure the lights are on and the signs are on, and then let's go for GSX and request boarding please. Now, while all of that is in progress, we can head out for the walk around. Okay, starting down here at the static ports, everything is clear and not obstructed. AOA vanes are checked, then we can check the nose landing gear and the condition of the tires, and everything's looking good. The lights are also in a good shape. So then, moving on to the front, the pitot tubes are checked, tab probes are in good shape, and the ice detectors are undamaged as well. Let's walk out to the front a little bit. And man, just look at this. The airplane looks impressive, doesn't it? Alright, so the tubes on the left-hand side from our point of view are good as well. Oxygen discharge disc is green. Static ports are checked. Then let's get down to our leading edges, which are all fine. Let's have a look into the CF6 engine, and all the fan blades are in a good shape. That's what we want to see. So, the hatches are all closed, that's rather important. And then we can cross-check the leading edges for any sign of damage. They are rather hard to see today because the sun is so low already. So, the green nav light is on. Now, we can see the white cross, lovely. Alright, the trailing edges are fine. Then let's get to the main landing gear, to the right one. We are going to cross-check the condition of the tires, the brake wear indicator pins. We can also use that chance to remove the chocks, by the way. And everything is good everywhere. So, all the struts and all the cables and tubes are fine. So, they've already started loading here. Alright, and on this side everything's good as well. Leading edges are once again fine. The stabilizers themselves are generally in a good condition, and that looks fantastic. Then let's move on to the back of the airplane. No sign of any tail strikes or anything. And the white nav light, yeah, I think that one's illuminated. Can just about see it. Okay, so the stabilizer is looking good, no sign of damages, no bird strikes or anything. Then let's keep walking up to the front and have a look into the outflow valve. Just making sure that there's no bird sticking in here, that could cause serious trouble. Leading us to the main landing gear. No sign of leakages or anything. Now let's go ahead and inspect the wheels once again. Brake wear indicator pins suggest we have brand new brakes in here. The condition of all the tires are good. No leakages, no bursts, and again, the brake wear indicator pins are looking fantastic. Cool, then we can move along the trailing edge of the wing and have a look at what we're going to find over here. And apparently not very much. Alright, everything's looking good, and we can see the cross, wonderful. The red nav light is also illuminated. Perfect. Now let's check the leading edges, which are once again looking very good. Engines are in a fine shape. The hatches are closed and no sign of any leakages or stuff. So checking the fan blades once again, making sure that there is no evidence of any damages to them, especially small rocks or stuff that you may hit on the runways. Well, and with that, our walk around is complete, so let's get back up into the cockpit and let's start getting to work. Now that's interesting. Why does the eCam tell me that both doors are closed while we are definitely boarding? So, one left, two left. We saw the two left open from the outside. Interesting. And since we only have a single jetway, let's close the one left again. Alright, cool. So, that much for our preparations. Then I suggest we are going to go straight into our pre-flight procedures. So, flight recorder ground control on, oxygen fuel supply on, evacuation switches on captain, and all the rest is set up here. The lights are set, fueling is complete, so the seatbelts are coming on. Then we can turn the batteries off and on again and have a look at the elect DC page, and look at that, they're all charging perfectly. So refueling is complete, then we can turn the fuel pumps on. Hydraulic panel is checked, engine fire test, looks and sounds good, everything's set at the top, and the right hand side is completely set. Okay, lovely. So, leading us down to the main panel, let's dim that standby display a little bit. Now, takeoff, QNH 2983, which equals 1010 hectopascals. Here we go. Okay, it's the 17th of August 2025, everything down here is looking good. For our radios, V1, VHF 1, 2, and the interphone. And you can turn the speaker on as well, please. Here we go. So, weather radar is set. The middle is fine, the right is fine. Then let's go into our FMS. For that we'll need a flight plan. And then let's go. So, flying from JFK to Frankfurt, alternate Düsseldorf, Delta 106, cost NX30, flight level 390, that's all checked. So, flight plan, departure, 4 left, JFK 5, insert. And then in Frankfurt, arrival, ILS Yankee 7 left, with the IMCOM 1 Delta arrival and Delta Fox 454, insert. Lovely, now let's find some charts.
American 100, radar contact. Box 580, contact New York approach on 124.075.
So, we've got the ground chart, let's quickly check which parking chart we need. Gonna be that one over here, APC Terminal 1 and 4. So, APC Terminal 1 plus 4, that's the one. Good, now for the departures, runway 4 left, Kennedy 5, we can pin that one. And let's have a look. So initial climb, 4 left straight ahead, and then a right turn heading 099, which we've got down here. Beautiful. So secondary flight plan, we'll just make it a copy of the active. And then onto the fix info, KJFK 04 left. Enter that, and now we need the runway track, which we can find on the airport chart. And that's 044. Alright, and we'll just draw a 25-mile ring around here, that way I don't have to create any engine out points. Good, so init page B. Let's see what the flight plan says. 314.7.
Boston Center, American 117.
So, block fuel 96, winds, tail 23. Then, we need some fuel figures, which are going to be final 4.3, alternate 7.4, reserve 2.5, like this, and taxi 0.9. Okay, that looks good so far. Then let's go on to the performance. And we've got config 2 takeoff at 65 degrees. So flaps 2, flex 65. And our speeds are going to be 149, 152, 154. Alright, like that. Noise abatement procedure 2, engine out acceleration in 1500 please. Derated climb 2. And that's it. Progress page KJFK 04 left. Alright, cool. Optimal 386, cruising 390. That's absolutely perfect. Very well. Then let's move up here. QNH is set. Then we need flight directors, constraints, VORs. Initial, I think, is somewhere around 3000 or so, but we'll confirm with ATC. Okay, and that's our main panel set. Ground flight deck. Mind your ears, oxygen test. Alright, so that's looking very good so far. Then let's go ahead and grab a couple of frequencies from our charts. So, you can go to night mode, please. And then we need ATIS departure 128725.
Altimeter 3000. Density altitude 500 feet. Caution unknown drone activity in the area. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra. John F. Kennedy International Airport. Information Sierra. 09510. Arriving runways 4 right, 31 right. Departing runways 4 left, 4 right, 31 right, 31 left. Wind 010 at 10. Visibility 10. Sky conditions. Broken at 2200 feet. Broken at 7. Departing runway.
Okay, so runway 4 left, we've heard that. Then let's go ahead and call for clearance before we do the briefing. Kennedy delivery, Delta 106, information Sierra, request IFR clearance to Frankfurt. So why is that distance so wrong? Interesting, that discontinued. Well, that Delta Fox 454, that seems to cause the incorrect distance.
Delta 106 Heavy, information Sierra is current. Cleared to Frankfurt via the JFK 5 departure. Then is filed. Departure runway 4 left. Initial climb to 5000. Departure on 125.7. Squawk 4571.
Delta 106, clear to Frankfurt, Kennedy 5, departure runway 4 left, climb 5000, departure 1257, squawk 4571.
Delta 106 Heavy, read back correct.
Alright, cool, so 4 left, JFK 5 is confirmed, initial 5000, departure 1257. I will put that up here.
Emmanuel, boarding has started and the first passengers are aboard the plane.
Thanks. Okay, squawk 4571.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Delta Airlines Flight 106, flying from New York
Here we go.
to Frankfurt. Thrilled to have you with us today. Please take your
Okay,
seats
that looks
according to
fantastic so
your boarding
far.
passes.
Then we're just waiting
Stow
for the
your hand
boarding to
luggage in the
complete,
overhead bins.
which I
Or
think
onto the
may
seats in
already
front
be
of
the
you.
case.
If you need any help, just
Yeah,
give us a shout.
almost.
Our wonderful
Couple
crew,
passengers left.
myself, Deshaun, and my colleagues,
Lovely, then let's go
Mia
for
and Sam,
our
are here to
briefing.
make your flight as comfortable as possible. And hey, don't forget to check out our Sky Miles perks and enjoy some complimentary snacks and beverages during the flight.
Okay, so departing
Thanks for
Kennedy
choosing
4
Delta.
left, JFK 5
Let's get
departure,
this
initial
started.
5,000. 3.6 keeps us safe all around the area, 3,000 in the departure area. And extra fuel and time, well, we didn't really take anything, so it'll be about 10 minutes. We'll fix that broken waypoint when we're in the air. Alright, hotspot through our taxi routing is going to be crossing of runway 31 left, then departing 4 left, stop margin is not going to be very much, probably only a couple meters. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles, which we've drawn down here including a circle, and if we have to make an immediate return, let's see, 410,000 pounds, that should be below the max landing weight if I'm not mistaken. No, actually it's slightly above, okay, fine. I'm not too fluent in those figures in pounds, can only tell you in kilos. Okay, anyway, that's checked now, so we need to do the overweight landing procedure. Kennedy is probably the best option in the area, and an ILS approach to runway 4 right is going to get us back. Apart from that, we've got nothing special, nothing non-standard. Anything from your side? No? Okay, so that's our briefing complete. In that case, let's go for the cockpit preparation checklist, please. So that's gear pins and covers removed, fuel quantity, 96,000 pounds balanced, seatbelts on, ADRs, nav, barrel ref, QNH 29083. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. So, 2 more doors remaining. Let's see, ground, bulk cargo, close. And then we can start the APU. Alright, let's say hello to our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening from flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Delta Airlines, welcome aboard our Airbus A330-200 on our flight to Frankfurt. We're expecting about 7 hours and 10 minutes flight time this evening with an on-time arrival in Frankfurt. We're now finishing up the last paperwork. Once that is complete, we'll start our engines and taxi out runway 4 left. Our route leads us across the east coast and then finally via Ireland, the UK and Belgium into Germany. Thank you very much for being a guest. Sit back, relax and enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything we can do for you to make it more comfortable, please do not hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Thank you very much for your attention and once again welcome aboard. Alright, so these guys are covered, then let's quickly go ahead and run the not HLA items. So ATC com message log is cleared and actually not simulated. Then ADSC is armed. Now let's go into the flight plan and cross-check the North Atlantic waypoints. So we got Nut Track Victor, that's over here. So from Nixo to 48 North 50 West, which is checked, onto 50 North 40 West, which is checked, onto 51 North 51 North 30 West, it's also checked, 52 North 20 West is checked, and then we continue via Limri and Xepto, and all of that looks fantastic. Good, so we're done with this, then let's go ahead and do our performance, please. In the meantime, boarding should be completed by now. So, APU bleed is on, external power can go, and GSX, prepare for pushback and departure, please. So, the GPU is going. Then let's cross-check our payload. So, zero fuel weight is 314.7. And that's what we've got. And the CG is 25.4. Here we go. Takeoff weight 49.8. And we've got 410.6. We calculated 411, so our takeoff data is just fine. And we can keep what we've calculated. Beautiful. Okay then, let's do the NUT HLA guideline. So, pre-flight. Aircraft acceptance, ETOPS, PDSC checked, IBSM equipment checked, clock and GPS mode checked, HF checked, message log erased, ADSC armed, ATC auto position reports off, IRS full alignment performed, ground speed, check 0, not HLA waypoints on OFP versus primary flight plan cross check, and wind data. That's something we didn't do yet. Okay, wind data is entered, and that's the not HLA guideline complete. So then, let's go over to the ground, and let's go for a pushback. Transponder is coming on. Now the big question as always, do we need pushback clearance on the RAM? In the States? Well, in this one I think we don't, so we'll just push over here, easy going. Honey ramp Delta 106 pushing back from stand 34. So before start checklist please. Park and brake is set, takeoff speeds and thrust, V1 149, VR 152, V2 154, flex 65. And we forgot to enter the trim, which is up 4.1. And entered. Okay, the windows are closed and the bacon is tasty before start checklist complete. Ground from flight deck, go. So, push approved and runway 4 left in use. After that, spot 17 and release brakes please. Brakes released. Thank you, start the pushback and stand by for engine start please. So, off block at, tell you what, we'll call it 48, that is on time. Lovely. So, let's dim the displays a little bit.
Cabin crew, all doors in flight cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Delta Airlines Flight 106, flying from New York to Frankfurt. We're excited to have you with us today.
Alright, ground from flight deck, we're ready for engine start. Yeah, stand by please. Roger. I gotta say, JFK looks good.
Keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you're seated, just in case you hit some turbulence, okay? In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop down to the chamber.
So, spot 17 can just be seen in the back there. That means we're ready to start the engines in sequence 1 and 2.
Remember to put your own mask on.
Engine 1 start.
For those of you who are seated near the exits, the emergency exits located in the front, over the wings, and at the rear of the aircraft. To reach them, just follow the illuminated exit signs. In the event of evacuation, please leave your luggage behind. Safety first, and just a heads up, we'll be serving complimentary Biscoff cookies, goldfish crackers, almonds, along with Coca-Cola beverages and Starbucks coffee. If you're looking for something more, we have snack boxes available for $8 to $10, with drinks ranging from $9 for beer and wine to $11 for cocktails.
Alright, that's spot 17 for us. So, sub brakes.
Expect our flight time
And park and brake is set.
7 hours and 20 minutes, cruising at 39,000 feet. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. All right, Emmanuel, the cabin is ready for departure.
Thank you. And we've got a good start in engine number 1, starting engine number 2. Clear 2. So now comes the interesting question. Once we're going to request taxi, how grumpy are the ground controllers gonna be again? I suppose with the sun slowly setting, they probably want to go back home and asleep as well. Alright, so he's got the pin, he's walking away. Our engine start is progressing nicely. Very good. So ground, 2 good engine starts, clear disconnect, show me the pin on the left, have a good day, bye bye. And there's a tow bar, there's a tuck, there's a pin, and there is some rain. Okay, we might have to redo the performance here, but let's get going first. So, clear signal is received. So it's trimmed itself, that's looking good. And then let's do the after start checklist. Anti-ice, off, ecam status, checked, pitch trim, that's 27%, rudder trim, neutral, after start checklist complete. Penny ground Delta 108 request taxi. And corrections Delta 106. So here's the taxi chart. Now the big question, why is he not answering the phone? Well, let's try the other ground frequency, 1219R. Kennedy ground, Delta 106 heavy request taxi.
Delta 106 Heavy, runway 4 left taxi via Kilo Foxtrot, Alpha Juliet Kilo, cross runway 31 left, then Kilo 2.
Taxi 4 left at Kilo Foxtrot, Alpha Juliet Kilo, cross runway 31 left and Kilo 2, Delta 106 Heavy. Alright, so Kilo Foxtrot is straight ahead, then we're going into Alpha... Alpha? Well, Juliet gotta be that small part over here, and then Kilo, crossing. Okay, so straight out, first left, and then over to the right, crossing a Kilo. Very good. Let's try not to make him grumpy. So the right side is clear, the left side is clear. Brakes released. Let's go.
Delta 2245, ready for push and start.
Delta 2245, push and start approved.
Brake check.
Pushback and start approved, Delta
Pressure
2245.
0. So let's keep it slow while we're on the ramp. Left side is clear, that Virgin is not really behind the line. Well, in the worst case, we're gonna insert something into the Virgin. Let's see. Yeah, it's fine, just about. Okay, so the right side is clear, that Airbus is not on our taxiway. He's on Bravo, not on Alpha. Okay, left turn into Alpha, and the left side is clear, the right side is clear.
Delta 2245, ready to taxi.
Delta 2245, runway 4 right taxi via Sierra Delta, Romeo Bravo Juliet, cross runway 4 left, then Zulu.
Runway 4 right taxi via Sierra Delta, Romeo Bravo
Okay, so
Juliet.
now the right hand
Runway
turn
4
is going to
left,
be into
then
Kilo,
Delta 2245.
and we got to pay some attention to that A319 over there. Make sure he doesn't run into us. Delta 106, are we behind the A319 or in front?
Delta 106 Heavy, you're behind the A319er at your 2 o'clock. Keep an eye on it. It's not going to move itself.
Alright, we are behind the A319, Delta 106. So, left side's clear, right side's clear, and he's turning the other way anyway. Okay. I wasn't sure if this was an inbound or an outbound.
Delta 106 Heavy, Roger. You're behind the A319er. Keep an eye on it. It's not going to move itself.
Yeah, you said that already. Don't repeat yourself. I would appreciate if this gentleman taxied a little bit faster, if I'm completely honest with you.
Approaching runways.
Okay, so we are cleared across. Strobe lights on. Right side is clear. Left side is clear. That must be a student pilot taxiing that Airbus. He's going so slow. Hopefully he's gonna go a little bit quicker on the straight line now. Yeah, that's it. That's the speed. He found the thrust levers. Alright, I have no changes to the takeoff briefing. Now the runway is probably to be considered wet. I tell you what, could you just calculate a wet runway for me, please?
JetBlue 355, request push and start.
Here we go, and send that over.
Start approved.
I do simulate my PM entering that right
Pushback
now.
approved, JetBlue 355.
Alright, so that's everything entered. Looking good. Then, flight control check, please. Full up.
American 299er,
Full
ready to
down.
taxi.
Neutral.
American
Full
299er
left.
5, runway 31 left taxi via November Charlie Alpha Juliet.
Full right.
Cross runway 4 left. Then Juliet
Neutral.
Bravo.
Rudder. Full
Runway
left.
31 left taxi via
Full
November
right.
Charlie, Alpha
And
Juliet,
neutral.
cross runway 4 left, then Juliet Bravo, American
Alright,
299er
so
5.
no changes to the takeoff briefing.
Ground, Brickyard 5714, taxi to the
First
ramp.
walk is in. Radar coming on.
Brickyard 5714. Taxi to parking via Victor Bravo.
And
Sierra
config
Delta.
is checked. Alright, taxi checklist
Victor
please.
Bravo, Sierra
Flight
Delta,
controls,
Brickyard
checked. Flight
5714.
setting, config 2. Radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto. Engine start selector, norm. Ecam memo, takeoff, no blue. Taxi checklist, complete. So let's see, tower is gonna be on runway 4 left, 123.9er.
JetBlue 355, ready to taxi.
JetBlue 355.
And then 1257 will be our departure frequency. Kennedy Tower, Delta 106 Heavy, ready for departure.
Delta 106 Heavy, Kennedy Tower, runway 4 left. Hold short, you're number 1 behind the A319.
Hold short, runway 4 left, Delta 106. I was about to answer with Kennedy ground. I'm sure that would have gotten us a comment. Delta 106 Heavy, request intersection Kilo 1. Remember, we were originally cleared for Kilo 2.
Delta 106 Heavy, intersection departure from Kilo 1 approved for runway 4 left.
Kilo 1 approved, Delta 106 Heavy. So the 319 is on the runway. It found a runway. Amazing.
Kennedy Tower, Delta 954, established on the RNAV Yankee runway 04 right. Delta 954, roger.
Okay, so A319, you're cleared for takeoff. And there he goes.
Delta 106 Heavy, runway 4 left, wind 010 at 10, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 4 left, clear for takeoff, Delta 106 Heavy. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. So, what did we calculate? Packs off, okay. So, lineup checklist. Takeoff runway, 04 left, full length. TCAS, TARA, packs 1 and 2 off. E4 takeoff checklist complete. Are you ready? Then let's make it a rolling takeoff.
On runway 04 left.
Manflex 60, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. Knots, checked. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Nav, checked. So, 13 knots of tailwind. Not nice, but within limits. Just gotta love this low-level maneuvering here. Interesting, that flight director was not very accurate for this turn.
Contact departure.
Contact departure, Delta 106 Heavy. Thrust decline 2, climb auto thrust. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Kennedy departure, Delta 106 Heavy. Kennedy 5 departure. Ooh, it's getting dark.
Delta 106 Heavy, New York departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 190, direct Bethel.
Climb and maintain level 190, direct Bethel. Delta 106 Heavy. So, direct to Betty. And here we go, nav. Wow. That shower just has started over there. That's the reason why it's so dark in here. The sun gets like completely blocked. Alright, so... let's see, we are clean, we're on the way. Then acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, spoilers retracted, landing gear up, and packs on. Now the speed is rising. Alright then, I guess from now on it's going to be a very long time straight, so let's get that autopilot in. AP1. That's probably going to fly a little bit more accurate than we do.
JetBlue 2122.
So the chrono's running, then let's reset the chrono.
The ILS runway 34 approach, descend and maintain 2000.
Well, and with that we are up and on the way.
Descending to 2000.
Now, let's quickly go ahead and fix this waypoint problem we have somewhere close to Frankfurt.
JetBlue 2122, contact Westchester Tower on 118.575.
So, that's the final that is messed up over here after Delta Fox 470.
JetBlue 2122.
At 450, that seems to be completely
New York
into
approach,
nowhere.
American 32, 15,000.
Okay, well, what can we do about it?
Radar contact.
You're not supposed to edit the final approach, but
118.975.
I see no other
New
way.
York Center on 118.975. Mach 101.
So that one's fixed, and there is another one, that's the 454, which we can delete as well. Now it should be better. Still isn't. Oh, now it is. Okay. So, 6:37. And the schedule is 6:40. Perfect. So we're on time. Let's see, Mach numbering cruise. .8. Okay, good. Well then, let's go ahead and quickly program our ETOPS waypoints. Then we've got that out of the way already. So, they are right down here. Stored waypoints. Entry 1, and that'll be north 4940.4. And west 042, 02.5. Format error. Oh, lovely. Oh, north 4940.4/west 0
5 Gulf X-ray contact New York departure on 135.9er.
Store.
Switching to New York departure on
Then, new waypoint,
135.9er, Cessna 5 Gulf
EGP1.
X-ray.
That's going to be at 50, 51.9. And 3205.1. Store, and finally the first exit is going to be at 5157.0.
Climb and maintain flight level 280.
Climb and maintain level 280, Delta 106 heavy.
Foxtrot 2000 for 4,000.
Okay, 28,000 blue. Lovely. So 5157.0 and 2054.
The use of electronic devices is now allowed. Feel free to connect to our
Alright,
Wi-Fi
stop.
service if you need to stay connected.
Now we've got all of that in. We're above 100. So lights remain on. Signs can calm off.
Climb and maintain 2000.
You can go for airports up here, and then we can do clear and copy, please. So entry 1, EGP 1, and exit 1. Here we go. Nothing in the RadNav page. Secondary is copied. So 390 versus 388, maximum 409. Easy going then. Flight level 390 it is. Well, and with that, we are pretty much done with everything. So for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight to Frankfurt. Good morning. I do hope you found a good night's rest along our flight to Frankfurt. It's been a pretty short flight, just 6.5 hours in the air, and we are already starting to set our airplane up for today's arrival. So let's get right into it and start with our setup. ATC have already told us that we're expecting runway 07 right for today's arrival. So let's go ahead and change that in our FMS. 7 left is planned right now. Oh, and one thing that we have to do, since there is a little bug where the fuel from the trim tank doesn't transfer automatically to the main tanks, we just quickly got to fix that, which we can easily do by going to the payload page, which automatically updates. Then just hit apply and load, instant, and now it's automatically going to transfer that fuel. So watch that happen, and here we go. Now the fuel from the trim tank is all transferred to the main tanks. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and change our arrival runway to the ILS approach runway 7 right. The arrival remains the same on the Incom 1 Delta, provided that it does change at all, because right now it wouldn't show me any other arrival. So ILS 7 right. Here we go, Incom 1 Delta arrival, and the Delta Fox 654 transition. Insert. Now let's see what it's gonna do. Oh yeah, it's once again messed up those fixes, so let's just go ahead and fix that real quick. So that looks all good. The problem seems to be the final, where that Delta Fox 660 is just incorrect. Let's go ahead and fix that one. I mean, you're not supposed to delete this. After doing this, we cannot fly the approach as an FMS overlay any longer, but we don't want to do that anyway. We do want to fly it as an ILS approach.
Hey Manuel, Stephanie, just wanted to check in and see if you guys would like anything to drink or a small snack.
Juliet,
You look a bit more
contact
awake in a
London
minute.
Control
That is
on
fine.
135.425.
I would appreciate a small coffee, thank you.
Over to London Control on 135.425, Sun Express 23 Juliet.
And apparently there was one more
Sure
broken
thing, Captain
waypoint.
Emmanuel. I'll get that coffee. for you
Alright,
right
this
away.
is a lot better, isn't it? Okay, so destination EFOP below min, I don't agree with that, but let's see what our weather looks like, and then we can make a decision down here. So 040 at 8, Carbog 15 degrees, QNH 1020. Might as well just set that now. Here we go, 1020 is pre-selected. Then let's get out the charts. And we're looking for Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, Frankfurt am Main. Charts, and this might need a moment. Oh, that was fast. Okay, so arrivals, 07 right, and we're looking for the Incom arrivals, that's this one down here. Now for the approaches, it's going to be the ILS, and for the airport chart, there's too many of them, AGC and APC East. Good, then we can unpin the JFK charts. And here we go. So, Incom between 210 and 240, LB between 170 and 220. Then we've got MGOT, Ramop between 110 and 130. Delta Foxtrot 431, flight level 110, and then we have 432, 439, basically down the downwind, onto the final approach. Now let's get the ILS chart for runway 07 right. It would theoretically start at Delta Fox 660. That is the one that was broken, so we've got 670 in here. That shall do the job. Okay, so, let's go for the missed approach. Straight at 675, 278 or 5000, whichever is later, maximum 220. Right on a Frankenstein, climbing 5000, maintain maximum 250 knots, and that's exactly what we've got on the database. So, Echo Delta, Delta Fox 07 right, down here. Now for the performance figures, the speed is looking good, QNH 1020, temperature 15 as it's still early in the morning, and the wind 040 at 8. Minimum is 530 and config 3. Okay, so 4,300 feet for the engine out acceleration altitude. Yeah, the fuel is absolutely fine down here. And in the secondary we are going to keep runway 07 left, which has a minimum of 510. Alright. And that likewise 1020, 15 and 040 at 8. Looking good, that's what we need. Alright, so that's our FMS setup completed. Auto brake, well, tell you what, we're actually going to leave it off.
KLM 76 Quebec, flight level 210.
Okay, cool. And that's all our setup done. Then let's go for the approach briefing, please. Alright, so we're going to fly the IMCOM 1 Delta arrival, MSA 4300, ILS approach runway 07 right, minimum 530, go around straight out right turn, climbing 5000. In case it's runway 07 left, it's going to be a left hand turn, also 5000. We've got extra fuel of pretty much 0. Alright, so the approach itself is going to be flown with flight director guidance, config 3, idle reverse, vacate the runway to the left if you land on 07 right, or to the right if you land on 07 left. Stop margin will be more than enough. No hotspots for our taxi in, but if we land on 07 right, we might have to cross 07 center, so there's always that possibility. Apart from that, we've got nothing special, nothing non-standard, and I don't see any threats for today's arrival, do you? No? Lovely, then that's our briefing completed. Alright, then I'm going to say goodbye to our guests.
Brussels Control, Lufthansa 976, flight level 350.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. From the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Delta, I would like to say thank you very much for flying with us today. Hope that you have enjoyed our flights with us, and we look forward to meeting you again on board the future one. We're now expecting a remaining flight time of approximately just above half an hour, depending on the local traffic situation. The weather is very nice, temperature at this time of the day already 15 degrees Celsius and quickly rising. Thank you very much for choosing Delta, we hope to see you again soon, and in the meantime we wish you a nice and safe onwards journey. Look at the clouds, isn't that lovely? Sim just looks so good. Right, well, and that's everything that we could say. Well then, let's go ahead and forward this one a little bit, and then I see you all when we start the approach into Frankfurt. Long radar, Delta 106 Heavy, passing on 4,400, descending 4,000, inbound Ramop.
Delta 106 Heavy, Frankfurt approach identified. Good morning. Expect the ILS runway 7 right approach into Frankfurt via Delta Foxtrot 654.
Expecting the ILS 07 right, Delta 106 Heavy. Delta 106, request radar vectors to final. Alright, let's do that to convince them to give us a shortcut. Because I definitely don't want to fly the full arrival here.
Delta 106, something went wrong on this end, and I wasn't able to do the math on the vectoring approach. This has been reported as bug, but you'll need to get yourself to the approach fix.
Roger, we are flying heading 120, Delta 106. Okay, that's about as easy as it gets. Trust idle open descent heading. If it can't do the math, then we do. So, out 4000 blue.
106, continue on present heading.
Continue on heading 120, Delta 106. Alright, so Delta Fox 670 on top, please. And radial in 246. No, definitely no nav mode. Here we go. Okay, heading. So we're approaching 10,000. Lights, signs, EFIS.
Cleared for the RNAV Yankee runway 07 right approach.
Like this, and then we've got GPS primary, high accuracy, Frankfurt 07 right, 3000 high, no problem to correct that with a speed brake. Okay. So we are already cleared down to an altitude, then let's go ahead and do the approach checklist, please. By the way, this is really a very, very typical approach for Frankfurt. They just bring you in super high on 07, and then last minute you get like a small vector to the final, and then you're going down with full speed brakes. That's how it happens all the time here. So, approach checklist, bow ref, QNH 101. 9 on. Seatbelts on, minimum, baro 530, auto brake, off, engine start selector, norm, approach checklist complete.
Delta 106 Heavy, direct Delta Foxtrot 654, cleared for the ILS runway 7 right approach, Delta Foxtrot 654 transition.
Delta 106, request to proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 670.
You're now on our final approach into Frankfurt. At this time, we kindly ask you to turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Please put your tray tables away. Ensure your seats are in their full upright position and fasten your seat.
So he's thinking.
We have gate assignment at B47, so we'll be parking there shortly. Thank you for your cooperation.
He's thinking longer.
Delta 106, unable to provide direct routing to Foxtrot 670. Please refer to charts or navigates for navigation.
Yeah, no comment on that. We'll fly to 670 anyway. Alright, direct 2. Nav. So, 21 miles out, throttle and glide in 7,000, so that's definitely the correct glide that we're seeing here.
Switching to Frankfurt Tower on 136.5, Lufthansa 753.
Okay, 1365 is pre-selected. No need to reduce our speed just yet. Let's keep it at 250. $2,000 to go.
Frankfurt approach, Lufthansa 2 Hotel Papa, flight level 150. Frankfurt approach, Lufthansa 9er Foxtrot, Foxtrot, flight level 150.
9er Foxtrot, radar contact.
Alright, we're clear for the approach.
Proceed direct, Ulnok, cleared for the RNAV.
Path Pendular, autopilot 1-2, glide slope localizer blue.
Altitude 5000 until established. Delta 106, contact Frankfurt Tower on 136.5.
Block star, 136.5, Delta 106. So, activate approach phase. Frankfurt Tower, Delta 106 Heavy, ILS 07 right.
Delta 106 Heavy, Frankfurt Tower,
Speed out stop.
continue approach runway 7 right.
Manual flight. Continue approach 07 right, Delta 106 Heavy. Block, Cat 1. So, 10 knots headwind, that's going to make it a little bit easier on the final. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Glide slope star. Go around altitude 5000 set. Alright, 11 miles out. 197 knots ground speed, glide slope. That looks quite okay. Alright, nonetheless, let's get the speed brake out. And then flight directors off, bird on, set runway track. Let's have at least a little bit of fun here.
Lufthansa 3 Romeo Juliet, winds 130 at 6, runway 07 right, cleared to land. 07 right, cleared to land, Lufthansa 3 Romeo Juliet. Delta 106, landing clearance cancelled, execute missed approach procedure. Contact departure on 118.505.
Delta 106, you never gave us landing clearance in the first place. Request to continue approach. Because I have no clue what ATC is doing here. Flaps 2. Speed checked. And gear down.
Delta 106, continue approach, runway 7 right.
Ah, that's better. Continue approach 07 right, Delta 106.
Frankfurt Tower, Lufthansa 9er Foxtrot, established on the RNAV Yankee runway 07 right.
There is one aircraft ahead of us, but there's plenty of space in there, huh? So, flaps 3. Landing checklist, ECA memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete.
Delta 106, turn right heading 225 vectors for the ILS runway 7 right approach.
No, that's nonsense.
Delta 106 heavy, winds 100 at 7, runway 7 right, cleared to land.
Runway 07 right, clear to land, Delta 106 heavy. That is better. That is much better. So, that flight path vector is definitely not indicating correctly. But it's sending at 700 feet a minute, that means it should show -3 degrees. In that case, let's turn it off. I hate when my flight instruments don't work correctly. That's one of the biggest problems you can have in any airliner.
Frankfurt Tower, Lufthansa 3 Foxtrot November, established on the RNAV Yankee runway 07 right.
November, roger.
Approaching 07 right.
Checked. Man, the wind is a little nasty today. It doesn't show on the ND, but you can see how it drifts us left and right all the time.
Minimum.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Very nice. Spoilers, reverse green, decel. So we'll take the third rapid exit taxiway. Saves us some taxi time later on. 70 knots.
Delta 106, welcome to Frankfurt. Contact ground on 121.805.
121.805, Delta 106.
meters remaining.
Frankfurt, Delta 106 Heavy, request taxi to gate Echo 5. Well, and with that, welcome to Frankfurt.
Delta 106, taxi to gate Echo 5 via Mike 9er, Mike Tango, November Orange. Have a good day.
Gate Echo 105 via Mike Tango and November. Delta 106, good day.
Along with the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for flying with Delta Airlines today.
Okay, that was an easy one.
Just a fun fact for you. Frankfurt is known as the financial hub of Germany and has one of the largest airports.
Delta 106, taxi to gate 8.
Yeah, we've had that. No need to repeat the taxi instruction. Alright, so, after landing checklist. Radar and print differentiator. Off. And that's the after landing checklist complete.
Thanks again for choosing Delta. Wish you a wonderful stay in the city.
Lufthansa 8 Victor Mike, push and start approved.
Alright, so we're taxiing via Mike Tango in November. So Mike is what we're on right now. Then Tango will be the first to the left after the runway system. November straight ahead, and gate Echo 5 is over here. And that is a realistic taxi routing. A job well done. So, GSX, Echo 5, heavy, yes.
Dolomiti 5 Alpha Alpha contact tower on 118.3.
Switching to tower, Dolomiti 5 Alpha Alpha.
Alright, we've had the 3 minutes cooldown time, engine 2 cut off. We're pretty light right now, so single engine taxi is not going to be a problem at all. Okay, so approaching Tango, that's going to be next to the left. Delta 106 confirmed, crossing Tango 4 is approved.
Lufthansa 8 Victor Mike, runway 7 center taxi via November 5, November 15, Lima 20.
Runway 7 center taxi via November 5, November 15, Lima 20, Lufthansa 8 Victor Mike.
Delta 106 crossing Triangle 4 is not a valid instruction. Please clarify your request.
It's Tango 4. Request to cross Tango 4. And I'm gonna do it anyway. But Tango 4, holding point is here because of departures of 07 Center, which
Delta 106
have certain
cross
restrictions.
Tango 4 approved.
Aha! Crossing Tango 4 approved, Delta 106. Alright, that is what we've been looking for. In the real world, I would of course have stopped there before getting that clearance.
Dolomiti 3 Alpha Whiskey, pushback approved.
Push and start approved. Dolomiti 3 Alpha Whiskey.
So, Echo 5 is somewhere over there. So we're going via November. That means November East over here, and then a left turn.
Ready for push and start.
Lufthansa 7 Yankee Yankee, pushback approved.
Something that I have to mention really positively here is that Sane Tensions did not clear us onto the colored lines, but onto the center line, which is exactly what they have to do for a wide-body aircraft. The colored lines have a maximum wingspan of 36 meters, and we've got close to 60 meters on the A330. As you can see on the right side there with those wings, that might be rather unhealthy. Alright, start APU.
Swiss 507 Zulu contact tower on 124.908.
Switching to tower, Swiss 507 Zulu. Dolomiti 3 Alpha Whiskey, ready to taxi.
Okay, so next to the right is Echo
Dolomiti
5.
3 Alpha Whiskey, runway 7 center taxi
Lights
via
off,
November
radar
7,
off.
link 3, November 8, November 15, Lima
And we're
20.
looking for the center line.
Runway 7 center taxi via November 7, link 3, November 8, November 15, Lima 20, Dolomiti 3 Alpha Whiskey.
Lufthansa 6 Lima Juliet contact tower on 136.5.
Alright, A330-200 is on the guidance.
Lufthansa 5 Papa, pushback approved.
Push and start approved. Lufthansa 5 Papa.
So, nice and slow onto the stand. Three, 2, 1, stop. Very nice. So, APU bleeders on and available, shutdown. Cabin crew, all doors in park. Okay, and here we go. Engines are running down, 20%, beacon off. So, request deboarding already. Still waiting for the slides to disarm. And GSX is bugging. Lovely. Alright, then we do it this way. So, parking checklist, please. Parking brake are trucks. That's brake set. Engines off. Wing light off. And fuel pumps off. Parking checklist complete. So, let's give it one more try. GSX, request deboarding. Here we go. That's better. So, ground. Toggle GPU. Looks like we've got no trucks today. And then we can shut the APU down. Well, well, well. So, transponder to... Come on. 2000 standby. And then, what else is there to do? Fuel. 87,000 pounds basically. And we are supposed to use, well, 82,000. Use 87,000. Wow, that's 5,000 pounds more, even though we did not fly anything off the arrival route. That is quite an excessive fuel usage.
November 5.
That is really quite an excessive fuel usage. And to be honest, I can't really explain what's caused that 5,000 pounds. Well, we'll just accept that as a given. Alright then, last but not least, let's go down data, POS monitor, and the IRS drift. Yeah, it's minimal, probably not simulated. And then we can turn them all off. My friends, and that's what I can offer you today. Thank you very much for flying along. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the flight as much as I did. I've surely had a blast flying this one, but now it's up to you to leave your comments underneath the video. Let me know what you think about it. As always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.